Today we're going to talk about the Hall effect sensor. The Hall effect sensor basically detects magnetic fields. So we're going to use this to detect an end stop. And the end stop is going to be a magnet like this down here. And when it reaches over here, it's going to cause a signal to be sent to our sense pin. So let me outline the pins for you real quick here. We have our voltage pin right here. Then we have our ground pin, and then we have our signal pin. And in a moment, I'll show you how to connect it to the RADDS board. Okay, before we can connect it to the RADDS board, we have to know what pins we have to work with. So first of all, we have our X min, then we have our Y min, then we have our Z min, then we have our X max, our Y max, and our Z max. Now the pins are as follows. All the pins along this row are 3.3 volts. All the pins down the center are ground, and then all the pins on the right hand side are signal. So in a second I'll show you how to connect the wires to the RADDS board. Okay, first we're going to connect the voltage pin, which is right here. Next, we're going to connect the ground pin, which is the one in the center. And finally, we're going to attach the signal pin, which is the one right here. Okay, now that we have them all connected, what we're going to do is we're going to connect to the board, and we're going to use WiMAX for this. So what I'm going to do first is the voltage on the WiMAX pin. Then I'm going to do the ground, which is the next pin over. And finally on the WiMAX pin, I'm going to connect the signal. So in a moment I'll show you how to connect the USB so that we can program the Marlin firmware. Okay, we're going to connect the serial USB to the programming port. It's the port closest to the 12 volt power supply on the Arduino Duo. So now that that's connected, we're going to connect the other end to the computer, and you're going to hear a beep. Now keep in mind you can't touch this area once it's been energized. So in a moment I'll show you how to load the Marlin firmware. Okay, we're in the Marlin Bug Fix 2.0x folder. We're going to open that up. Inside that experimental firmware for the Marlin, we're going to open up the Marlin subfolder. We're then going to go to the source folder, then the core folder, and we're going to open up boards.h. Now in here we have to find our board, so we know it's a RADDS, so we're going to hit search and put in RADDS and then press enter. We're going to close that down, and we're going to look for where it says board underscore RADDS and copy that. Then we're going to close out. We're going to go back a directory, then another directory, and we're going to open up marlin.ino. Okay, we have 3 tabs when it opens up: the Marlin, the configuration.h, and the configuration adv.h, which is configuration.advance. So we're only concerned with configuration.h, so we're going to do a search on motherboard. Press enter, enter again. Then what you're going to do is you're going to highlight board underscore ramps underscore 14 underscore EFB, and you're going to paste board underscore RADDS. So the next thing we need to do is find the end stop. So we're going to search on end stop. And what we have here our 6 end stops, 3 of which are disabled. So we're going to uncomment use underscore max underscore plug. Use underscore ymax underscore plug. And the next thing we need to do is scroll down and look for inverting. Because we're on the ymax, we need to change the logic from false to true because of the sensor type. This will allow it to come as open instead of triggered, because triggered is not what we want. We want the actual opposite, which is open. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to check to make sure that we have the correct board, which is our Arduino Duo, and it's on the programming port. And next we're going to see if we have the right COM port selected, which we do. It's COM3. So all we need to do is compile and upload by pressing this button. In a moment I'll show you how to test it in Pronterface. Okay, we're going to open up Pronterface. We're going to connect to the printer. And now what we're going to do is we're going to type M119 and press enter. And right now it says that the Y max is open. So what we're going to do is we're going to actuate the end stop. So I'm going to pick up on a magnet and bring it close. And as you can see, it's now actuated. It's gone from green to red. So I'm going to type M119 again and press enter. And now it says triggered. So if I remove the magnet, you can see that it's gone from red to green. So let's type M119 again and press enter and see what happens. And now it says open. So if you like my tutorial, please press the like button and subscribe, and thank you for your time.